Hello. Hello to you. My name's Musi, and today I am finally back with another ASMR video for you today. Today's video is a video that I've already done 2 months ago, but let me explain. I was on vacation, okay? I went to the Netherlands and then I went to London. It's crazy. I just came back 2 days ago. The trips were not connected, but separate, but nonetheless. And I did a little bit of book shopping because in the Netherlands as well as in London there were a few Waterstones bookstores and some other bookstores that I went to, and I just couldn't resist to get some in memory of the trip. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. However, I tried to hold myself back. I didn't get that many books. I only got 5, which I think is pretty okay. So today I will walk and talk about these books. Just imagine I'm your friend giving you a book haul. Sorry, you got nothing. The first book that I bought was in the Netherlands, and this is not a book that I got in England. It's a book that I saw online a few times already, and I was pretty intrigued to check it out. And so, after reading the back, I decided, okay, it's maybe a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it seemed interesting enough for me to want to purchase it and read it. And that is The Memory Police by Yoko Okawa. Funnily enough, my cat's name is Yuki, and we sometimes call him Yuku. I'm not sure why, just like we have some weird nicknames for him, basically. And so, the author's first name is basically what I call my cat sometimes, but that's not the point. This is a book by a Japanese author. I saw this on TikTok or somewhere, I'm not even sure, but I was very intrigued, and I put it onto my one to read on GoodReads. If you don't follow me or friend me there, it's in the link below. I also think that the cover is really, really cool. I think it looks very interesting, and it's kind of like an interesting concept in a book. I will read the back to you now. Head, ribbon, bird, rose. To the people on the island, a disappeared thing no longer has any meaning. It can be burned in the garden, thrown in the river, or handed over to the memory police. Soon enough, the island forgets it ever existed. When a young novelist discovers that her editor is in danger of being taken away by the memory police, she desperately wants to save him. For some reason, he doesn't forget, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for him to hide his memories. Who knows what will vanish next? I just thought that this was a super interesting book premise. They just forget things, and it's taken by the memory police. They lock it away, and it's a memory or thing or whatever that you'll never think of again because you'll immediately forget. And just the concept of like, okay, what happens when people forget something like altogether? What is the word like without it? I feel like there's a similar book that I've heard about, which was If Cats Disappeared from the World. However, I have not picked that up or read that or whatever. So yeah, if you're ready for that or this book, let me know how you liked it. It is definitely a little bit out of my usual comfort zone as to what I read, but I'm always up for something different, and yeah, I'm really excited to read this. The next book that I have is one which I got at Waterstones in the Netherlands, and that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have not read this book. I know that this book series, this is a 3 or 4 book series, I believe at this point, is extremely popular on TikTok. But I haven't read it because I was not really into fantasy before I read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. That immediately got me hooked. I read all of those, then afterwards I read the Carl series, which I know you're supposed to read them the other way around, but I didn't know any better. And this is also one of those popular series that I feel like I could like, so I decided to get it, especially since it had really beautiful purple sprayed edges. Purple sprayed edges. I think it matches the cover perfectly. Super cute. And one thing is, I live in Germany. Books with sprayed edges are usually really expensive here in Germany because they're somewhat of like a special edition in some way. But this was not any more what a normal book would have been here, so I decided to get it. I already knew I wanted to have it in physical form. If you don't know me, I am a big Kindle lover, or just like e-reader lover in general. Most of the books that I read, or especially read last year, are all on my Kindle. But some books I really like the cover of and think, okay, this could actually be something I really, really enjoy, then I will get it in physical form to reread it if I want, because that's the thing that I think isn't as comfortable on Kindle as it is if you have a physical book. So, that's that. I will read you yet again the back of this book as well. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilya. I hope I pronounced that right. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Grey, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilya's princes, Kai Acer, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents with them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Peyton is, completely ordinary. I don't think I've read a book like that. I mean, Once Upon a Broken Heart is somewhat similar, I guess, in a way, but it's not that there's that many ordinary people, and just as much people with powers, you know. If you read it, you probably know what I mean, but so I'm very interested to figure out what this is about. I feel like everyone and their mothers read this, just not me. Also, yet again, a beautiful, beautiful cover that I really wanted to have in physical form when I got it. And so I did that. So pretty. The next book, and the third book, these are all books I bought from England now. These two I've showed you first are the ones that I got in the Netherlands. And the books that are coming now are from England. The first two books are books that I bought from a store called Hatchards. They came in this little paper bag, which looks like this. Hatchards is a really, really beautiful bookstore in the middle of London, which, if you live there or if you're going there, you definitely have to check it out. It's beautiful. And what I figured out in general, like in the UK, is that whenever you buy a book, you get it in a sheet of paper like this, from with a logo. And I bought two books there at Hatchards. Hatchards. The first one that I bought is a book that's also been pretty freaking popular. And it is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. There are a few YouTube people that I watch regularly, and one of those is Sarah. I'm not sure her last name, but I'm pretty sure you guys know her if you like book content like me. She loves Frederick Bachman, and she says that he's one of her favorite authors, and this is a book that I felt like could be interesting to me. I recently read Tuesdays with Amori. I believe the author is Mitch Album, if I'm not mistaken. But it's basically a book based on true events. This is a memoir of the man that he's interviewing, a grandpa who will die. And I've read a few books like that already, where it's just like people, or older people, whatever, just like all together the sense of life and stuff around it, and how to live a beautiful and fulfilling and happy and life with love a lot. And so this book was immediately something that grabbed my attention, because I've read a few books like this with some older kind of person and part of in it, and this was one of those. And I looked for it in so many stores. Every time I went to a bookstore here in Germany where I live, I checked if they had it. They don't ever have any Fredman Bachman books. However, or at least not in English, because I could technically read the books in German, but I hate reading German books. I feel like it's, I don't know, I just don't like it. I prefer English as a language in general. But yeah, when I went to Hatchards, properly, and shop assistants who talk in code. But isn't it rare these days to find such old-fashioned clarity of belief in the deed, such unswerving conviction about what the world should be, and a lifelong dedication to making it just so? In the end, you will see there's something about Ove that is quite irresistible. If that doesn't sound good, then I don't know what does, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to read my first Frederick Bachman book. I've already said this, but like for any books that I'm talking about today, let me know if you've read them, how you like them. I gotta know. And this is what the cover looks like of the book. Also pretty cute, I think. Moving on to our second to last book. I don't have that many books because I'm trying to not hoard books. All the books that I'm showing you in this video, as well as the books right here, are my unread books, and I don't want to get any more because usually I go out and either buy a book on my Kindle or in physical form, literally, when I need a new one. And I don't have another book to read at home, and that's kind of like how I want to keep it going. But I just needed to get some books to take them home, okay? The second book was not something that I had on my TBR whatsoever. It was just genuine curiosity as I walked through the store, and maybe also like the cool and beautiful old-ish vibes gave me like some kind of push or whatever. But I bought Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I've heard of this book here and there, but I've never really looked into it. But when I saw it laying on the table at Hatchards, I was like, oh, what is that? The cover just kind of spoke to me. It's really beautiful with a lot of, what is it, dandelions? No. Yes, no. Daisies. I'm honestly not sure what they're called in English. Are these dandelions? I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. This is somewhat of like a classic. I'd argue, I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. And I just read the back and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good and romantic and vibey, I guess, to me. So I picked it up and I bought it. I'm very curious when I get to it how it'll be. But I'll read the back to you. It's spring and Laura's 3 grown daughters have returned to the family orchard. While picking cherries, they beg their mother to tell them the one story they've always longed to hear, of the film star with whom she shared a stage and a romance years before. Tom Lake is a meditation on youthful love, married love, and the lives parents lead before their children are born. Both hopeful and elegiac, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. It explores what it means to be happy even when the world is falling apart. And I thought, wow, that's just described absolutely beautiful. I love how books can describe things so lovely. So, that definitely had to come with me. And then the last book that I also bought at Waterstones in England. I've also got the paperback with me, duh. I was thinking of buying a tote bag, but they're pretty expensive, so I didn't end up doing it. But this is just the little baggie that it came in. And the last book that I have today is something yet again really different. I feel like all the books that I'm showing you are all really different from one another. I'm not sure what's going on there. I guess I just want to branch out a little bit. This is, I would consider, a self-help book or just on mental health. And it is this one, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. I don't know. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it, but it looks pretty small, but actually has a lot of pages. It's like almost 500 pages long. This is a book on trauma, and if you've watched some of my videos before, maybe you know what I'm trying to hint at, but I've in general just like experienced lots of trauma life, which slay, not really. And I am just interested, I guess, in this kind of topic, and wanted to know how I can heal from some of the trauma that I've experienced. And I've heard of this book before, and while I was there, I saw it there in physical form, and I was just like, okay, maybe this is a sign for me to actually get it now. And so I did just that. I wasn't sure originally, but then I thought, you know what, it won't hurt me. If anything, it'll help me, so I decided to get it as well. So I didn't even really get that many books in London, I just bought 3. But like I said, I'm not like a huge physical book buyer girl or anything in that sense. None of these books are specifically floppy, which is a shame to me. I feel like the UK versions of books usually are pretty unfloppy. I like the US versions of books a lot better usually, but I'm nowhere near America or anything. So yeah, but I read the back to you for one last time for this video. The effects of trauma can be devastating for sufferers, their families, and future generations. Here's one of the world's experts of traumatic stress. You're one of the world's experts on traumatic stress, offers a bold new paradigm for treatment, moving away from standard talking and drug therapies and towards an alternative approach that heals mind, brain, and body. No idea if this is maybe like kind of weird, but I'm intrigued and I want to know. So we'll see. I'm not sure when I'm gonna pick this up yet. I'll just pick it up whenever I feel like it, I guess. So that is the last and final book for today's haul. Yet again, if you've read any of these, let a girl know. But that brings us to the end for today's video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you enjoyed, please make sure to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would mean the world. But yeah, thank you so much. Lots of love. Until then.